All right, well, Stanton Vikings here tonight to win their first regular season opener. Also, corner conference over tonight, 53-47 over Sidney. Here now with Jenna Stevens, big contributor on the night. And Jenna, first off, obviously just give us your thoughts on this game. Bit of a back and forth there in that first half. Just your thoughts.
It was expected that we would go back and forth. It was our first game. There's always the first game jitters. So once we figured out what wasn't working for us and found out things that did, things started flowing a little bit better for us.
So what's kind of the message to your teammates there? Obviously, the entire first half, it really was kind of a back and forth. No one really able to pull away too much there. And what's kind of keeping you guys going there in that first half?
Our defensive effort, that's what we really try and key in on. We tried to keep the ball away from their two best shooters, which really helped us in the end, so that was good.
So obviously a big night for you as well, over 20 points on the night. Just kind of speak to your performance this evening.
It definitely could have been better. Usually the first game I am pretty jittery, and with this being our last first home game as seniors, it was a little bit more nerve-wracking. I know I can do better, but I was happy with my pressure free throws. That's what it's called. My pressure free throws really came in handy tonight, and I was glad I could make those.
And as you mentioned, those free throws there at the end, also you, Riley Burke, also had one there as well. Marley Johnson contributed. I mean, just obviously, I'm sure that's something you guys practice quite a bit, those high-pressure free throws there at the end of the game.
Yes, every day. We actually run for free throws, so lots of pressure because no one wants to run 17 lines for a missed one. So we do key in on free throws and being under pressure when we shoot them.
So then obviously they're at the end of that first half. You guys were able to knot it up at 29. They had a big run there in that third quarter, 11-2 run. I mean, kind of how big was it for you guys to be able to come out of the locker rooms with a lot of momentum?
It was nice because we got a lot of people rested up, so we were able to start our 5 starters again. So really just going back to our original plan, playing our normal game, and it just worked out for us in the end.
So in that second half, you're able to slow down Ava Osborne a little bit. She had the hot hand in that first half for the Cowgirls. What were some of the adjustments you guys made defensively there in that second half?
So we knew she was a shooter, but at first we just decided to guard Avery just to see how that played out. And once she got hot, after halftime we decided that we would man up on both to see how that would help us defensively, and that ended up working better than just the box and one.
So and obviously, as you mentioned, the trio of you guys came back this year. Obviously, you, Marley, and also Abby Burke as well. Just kind of speak. I think you had all 5 starters return this year as well. I mean, just kind of talk about how significant it is for you guys to be able to kind of carry over that that starter mentality from last year.
Something we've been going by is that we're right where we left off last year. Obviously, with a devastating loss like last year, we want to build off of that and do even better this year. So that's something that shows up at practice every day. Is we don't want our season to end like it did last year. So really, the 5 of us returning and then getting the bench more experience is way better this year, too.
So, and obviously, it's a pretty wild way to start off your regular season. I mean, just kind of you guys mentally, I mean, how does winning a game like this kind of help you build that mentality as you move forward with the season?
It's a good start to the season on our home court against a conference team that starts us 1-0 in the conference. So that was a pretty big win for all of us, really.
Congrats on the win, Jenna.
All right, well, Stanton Vikings survive here in the regular season opener here tonight against Sidney. They went 53-47 here now with head coach Dave Snyder. And coach, just start off obviously a bit of a back and forth game for you guys tonight. Just start off with your thoughts on this win for you guys.
Well, first of all, it was our first game. They were fortunate enough to get one in last night, and so I was a little on edge about that going in because you just never know. And you know, with the back and forth and the way it turned out, you know, in the end, I can't think of a better way to start the season, to tell you the truth.
Certainly, obviously, you just talk about that. Obviously, the mentality for you guys there in that first half, it was neck and neck. You go into the locker rooms tied at 29. Just kind of talk about your mentality there in that first half with your girls.
Well, in the first half, you know, obviously we had some concern with Avery Dowling, and we wanted to keep the ball out of her hands. Well, you know, then and we knew that the Osborne girl was, you know, a good shooter. And she sure as heck showed it. So, you know, at halftime we had to make some adjustments as far as that defensive assignment was concerned, and we did. And I think we held up pretty good second half on that.
So in the end, offensively, you guys have that big run 11-2 there in that third quarter. Was kind of difference maker in that second half. I mean, just kind of talk about your offensive performance tonight and what you guys were able to do. Obviously, Jenna Stevens led the way with 21 here tonight.
Right. Well, first of all, you know, offensively, we felt that, you know, if we made the right passing and the right moves and set ourselves up into the right situation, which we did, get the ball in Jenna's hands, and we felt very comfortable with that philosophy.
Sure, and obviously you mentioned the halftime adjustments. Osborne was scoreless there in that second half. I mean, just talk about kind of what you guys did there defensively in that second half to make kind of slowed them down offensively a little bit.
Well, we paid some total attention of person-to-person defense on their outside shooting. and we needed to clean up our rebounding act, and I think we did a better job rebounding in the second half.
Sure, and obviously we mentioned Stevens, leading scorer for you guys tonight. Just kind of talk about her performance here tonight.
Well, I thought she was a little frustrated. She missed some easy shots that she probably should have made. But I think a huge key was the number of fouls that occurred against her, and her performance on the free throw line was a huge difference.
So you obviously mentioned the free throw line there at the end. They were able to draw it to 2 points. 30 guys hit some clutch free throws there at the end. I mean, obviously, I'm sure that's something you guys preach a lot, and 3 different players contribute there on the line late.
Right, and that's just what we do. We want to get to the free throw line in that late stage of the game. Fortunately, the shot clock really didn't play into it a whole lot. I was a little concerned about that. That's a new learning experience for everybody. So, it played out, the way we definitely wanted it to.
Certainly, this year you guys retained all 5 of your starters from last year, and of course that key trio: Stevens, Marley Johnson, Abby Burke, all of them kind of contributing at different points. Johnson had a solid night, a couple of late 3-pointers there from Burke. Just kind of talk to be able to kind of keep that core players this year.
The thing of it is it's hard to play our game with any of them on the bench, but we're going to have to figure out a way to rest them down the stretch. That's in the game plan. 2 of the 3 on the floor at all times is probably going to be mandatory for us. That's all there is to it. Okay, it's key that we stay away from injuries. It's key that we keep them in the game and out of foul trouble.
So, and obviously a heck of a way to start off the season for you guys. I mean, how does a game like this, obviously a tight game, you guys fought to the end in this one. How does that kind of build a little bit of confidence for you guys going forward?
Well, I just think it is a big deal. To be able to get out of a game like this on the right end of it. It's just a big deal, and so it'll pay dividends down the stretch.
Certainly. Congrats on the win tonight, Coach.
Thank you very much.